Welcome to our Wialon community open mic. And today is a special one because it's the final open mic of the year. Today I'm very happy to welcome our colleagues Tim and Arslan from Escort Monitoring Systems, who will lead a fascinating session titled Mythbusters, Bluetooth Sensor in Real Life. Hello Tim, hello Arslan. Great to have you with us
Hello,
today.
hello, Victorina. Hello, everyone.
As always, we will have a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to send your questions in the chat at any time during the webinar. And Tim and Arslan will go through them and answer everything after the main presentation. Okay, let's get started. Tim, Arslan, the mic is yours.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Let me just quickly explain what we are about to speak here and who we are. Some of you might know our company, some of you don't. So I must go through this quick introduction of Escort Monitoring Systems Group, the manufacturer of control and measuring devices for satellite-based transport monitoring and meteorological application. Basically, we make hardware and also we create firmware and software that goes with that hardware. We have been doing this since 2009. And in fact, in 2004, we were founded as a systems integrator, as many of you guys are system integrators. As of today, we have sold and manufactured and sold over 2 million devices, and over 500,000 devices were exported. So means they went globally, perhaps to your country as well. We have branch offices and main offices in Dubai, Mexico, India, and Kazakhstan, as well as we have local presence in terms of representation and representative offices and employees in Brazil, in South Africa, in Kenya, in China, and some distribution network, very wide distribution network, which is not here. But there is a very strong chance that our sensors are installed on machinery in your country. This is a full-scale production from research and development to lab testing. Then we also test equipment in the field on the vehicle before we actually make a decision to start manufacturing that equipment. Assembly work, technical inspection, and then complete set and packaging. Since 2009, over 2 million devices as of today. So we are into vehicle telematics. This is something I really don't want this open mic and presentation go into a product presentation. So what I decided to do instead, I searched some of the community boards. There's a Teltonica community board, Wialon community board, some of our integration partners. They also have open forums and chats, as well as we went through some technical questions that come into our 24/7 technical support. And here we got a head of our technical support, Arslan. What I'm about to do, I'm about to ask him some of your questions, some of the questions that you ask online, that you ask our technical support, and let's try to understand without the beautiful marketing picture, without without the like perfect conditions where sensors work in the lab, absolutely giving you 100% accuracy and absolutely perfect connectivity. Let's go into the field where you guys spend your time, where your installers and where your technical personnel spend time. In fact, I've been through a couple of installations, and I can tell that having an understanding, a proper understanding how to set the sensor properly, so it gives you the real data. So you install and forget is very crucial. Yeah, without further ado, let's switch to the fuel monitoring. This is our main focus. Absolutely. Yeah, and there are quite a lot of questions from my customers, Arslan. So let me ask you a couple of them. One of the most popular ones is actually, yeah, here we go. Why does the BLE sensor not appear in the GPS tracker's scan list or not in the platform right after the installation? Sensor is new, operational, but it doesn't show in the system. What affects BLE visibility and how to troubleshoot these issues?
Yeah, sure. That's one of the most common questions we get probably. Uh, Here, first of all, you need to check if somebody has not accidentally enabled the data encryption on the sensor side. So if you can find it in your app, in our app, I mean Escort configurator, using your smartphone, then it means that the sensor is definitely online. But if its data packages are encrypted, then the tracker will not be able to parse them. And this happens because, well, we had to add the encryption protocol to our devices to protect Bluetooth as it is an open channel and it is supposed to have a certain measure of security to it. But the majority of GPS trackers manufacturers have not integrated this encryption algorithm into their devices. So if somebody was testing the device, I mean the sensor for the first time, they could potentially have altered this configuration and hence the issue. And the second part, of course, is the tracker side, which you need to check. If we are talking about, I think I can say it out loud, that probably the most popular manufacturer right now across all the countries globally is Teltonica.
90% of our
Yeah, I
customers,
think
yes.
90, probably 90, maybe even 95% of the
Could be
market
easy.
belongs to them easily. When it comes to the global scale, of course. So in those cases, you absolutely need to go to the settings of the device, check the system tab, enable the codec 8 extended version, because without that, the tracker might be reading the data packages that come from the sensor, but the tracker will not transmit them to the server if you do not enable this setting in particular. And after that, you need to check the Bluetooth 4.0 tab. There, you need to enable the connection slots, the memory slots of the device, and introduce the MAC addresses of the sensor or a couple of sensors if you're connecting up to 4 of them, generally. And select the right preset. After that, hit the Save to Device button to apply the settings. If you have done all that, you need to go to the I/O tab, and there you need to enable the priority either low or maybe medium, maybe high. That depends on what you demand. And usually everyone goes for low because for fuel monitoring, that's more than enough. And again, apply the changes that you have just made to the configuration of your device. And after that, everything shall work. Maybe the Bluetooth is disabled, and this happens because it has not been configured to work actually. And check if the tracker has not yet gone to the sleep mode if you have been trying to configure it for quite some time. Because if it goes into the sleep mode, then the Bluetooth is off and it's just not scanning anything.
Okay. This I could have missed that during my trial sessions with Teltonica. But yeah, actually, this question comes from a Teltonica community, the one I asked.
Yeah, sure.
One other question I have for you. So, how do and that comes from many of my customers, how to determine the proper connectivity? Because this is Bluetooth we are talking about. It's very clear with wire. So it's 10 meters, it's 10 meters. What about Bluetooth? How to determine that your connection is good? You really don't have many options where to install fuel sensor. That's going to be a fuel tank.
In some cases.
Yeah. So, what about the listening device? What about the GPS tracker device? Can that device determine does it receive the signal from the sensor or not?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, speaking of the wires,
Mm-hmm.
you are right. If it's 10 meters, then everything is simple and clear. It's 10 meters, and
Yeah.
it's not that difficult to achieve uh, the desired level of connectivity. But if we are talking about 100, 200 meters,
Mm-hmm.
then you also need to be aware that you need the shielded cables, for
You will
example.
lose signal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I get it.
otherwise you might be losing the signal transmitted via the wires as well. But yeah, you're right. Bluetooth is a little bit more tricky. You absolutely need to check the parameter that is called RSSI. This stands for Received Signal Strength Indicator. It is supposed to be calculated and sort of assessed by the receiver device. So you need to connect to your GPS tracker and then run the BLE scan. Every time you do that, the RSSI evaluation comes up in the interface of the software tool that you're using to configure your device. And if you do that, well, I would recommend at least 5 to 10 times per, let's say, 3 5 minutes, while the engine of the vehicle is running. All electronic devices near the GPS tracker are enabled and switched on, because those could be generating some
Like
interferences.
your cell phone and jammers and
Everything, yeah,
whatever.
even the radio in the vehicle,
Okay.
that could be affecting as well. So
Okay.
you absolutely need to switch everything on to recreate the real conditions that the devices will be operated under. And after that, you check this RSSI, you take the measurement of it at least 10 times over the course of 3 to 5 minutes, calculate the average, and that average must be within the -35 to -85 decibels per meter range. If the value that you get falls into that range, then you can conclude that the connection is pretty stable.
Okay. What about the situation when you're just too lazy and you get this just very like it's -84? So then and then yeah, that happens quite often. They say yeah, the connection is there. But then you're correct. The driver sits behind the steering wheel, they turn on the radio,
Yeah.
the cell phone,
Absolutely.
what gives? And then there's no connection. And then they blame it on the sensor.
Well, of course, you need to be mindful of that. The closer the value you get is to -60, -50, for example, the better. So, well,
Don't be lazy then.
yeah, don't be lazy, man.
Right.
If you don't want to go to that vehicle twice or thrice to correct your mistakes, yeah, don't be lazy the
But yeah,
first time you do it.
trust me, you've seen many of those trucks, and if I have to install the fuel sensor, I'm never gonna go wired again. Look, and then this agricultural machinery
Yeah.
covered in
Yeah.
whatever, and then there's a construction machinery. Then with BLE, it's much easier. You just you really don't have to get that dirty.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can stay much cleaner. I've been in my civil clothes
It's
during
definitely
installation.
-30 to 40 minutes of the installation time.
True, true.
Absolutely. And if you're doing that in the conditions where it's very hot or very cold outside, definitely cabling is a nightmare.
Yeah. But tell me this. Okay, so we went away from cables. Fine, good. There is a battery, right? There's the battery. So, what do you guys do? And I always get this, and you guys also get this question. So, the
Yeah.
battery, yeah, it's a tough question. Why does the battery die before you promised 3 to 5 years? Yes. So, why am I have been using my sensor for 1 year and the battery is dead? There is no connection. What to do, how to avoid, how to prevent it, and if it's inevitable, how to prepare myself for this situation.
So there could be two main reasons for the premature battery discharge. The first one is there is a leakage on the circuit board of the sensor. In that case, we usually recommend replacing the first battery with the second one. And if the second one goes out within the 3-year warranty period that we have for our TD-BLE sensors, you can contact us again, and then we will probably, after getting all the pictures, all the
Sounds
videos,
a bit
yeah.
troubling though. How often does that happen?
I'd say this is roughly maybe 0.2, 0.3% of all the cases
Of
that we
all
get.
0.2%.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. The leakage on the circuit board is not that common. It happens, of course, because no device is manufactured like no not no devices are manufactured 100%,
Yeah,
100% perfect.
we are human, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not about making an indestructible
definitely,
device, but that's how
definitely.
we deal with it, as a
Even
company.
even if you automatize every process, every step of the manufacturing process using the machinery also has certain margin of error,
Oh
for
yeah,
example.
I've seen frustrated robot.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't do the job. The
yeah,
human has to check.
yeah. Double check
Okay.
everything.
So yeah, the
So
battery.
yeah, so that could be one of the reasons, the leakage on the circuit board. And then, regardless of how many batteries you put inside the sensor, it will consume the energy those batteries
Hmm.
have very quickly.
Hmm.
But there is always a possibility of the battery not being on par with the expectations that you have after reading its data sheet. And that happens because the actual capacity may differ from the stated one. I mean, the one stated in the data sheet of the battery.
Hmm.
The only viable way to check the capacity of the battery is to discharge it completely.
Hmm.
So we cannot check all the batteries before sending them to the customers. That would render them useless.
You'd be like, okay, that was a good battery,
Yeah,
and
that
that was
was a
a
good
good battery as
battery.
well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rest in peace.
Okay.
Because those are not rechargeable. If you make a rechargeable battery, it's not safe to use it around the explosive areas and
Hmm.
zones and whatever. So, um, what we can do is after getting every batch, we select a couple of batteries, we connect them to some kind of a power consuming device.
Hmm.
And then we measure how much power was consumed by
Hmm.
that device over a certain period of time, and then we can calculate the capacity.
Hmm.
If the taken sample from a certain batch is on par with our expectations, then the whole batch goes into work and the
Yeah.
batteries are placed in the sensor.
Okay. I guess that's the best you can do. As far as I know, our production have chosen the French brand,
Yeah,
SAFT,
yeah,
SAFT. They specialize only in batteries. They make this aerospace, medical use batteries. So it's a good battery. It's not cheap.
definitely.
And
And
you can replace it.
the chemistry in it
Uh-huh.
is very, very safe.
Okay.
Even for the countries where the temperatures go as high as 55, 60 degrees
Mm-hmm.
Celsius, because uh well, the sensors get installed not only in the small tanks of the vehicles, but also the
Stationary.
stationary
Yeah.
ones or the land tankers. Those are huge amounts of fuel, not only diesel, but also petrol or gasoline, whose vapors are very explosive. That's why it's always better to opt for the safer option when it comes to the battery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can replace the battery. It's replaceable as far as I know.
Yeah.
And also, you can get this battery charge. So one of the questions is, how do I determine if the battery needs to be changed?
The only viable um, option that you have is to configure the transmission of the battery voltage onto your server. And this is totally possible if you're
Mm-hmm.
using Teltonica devices or Quick Link, for example. Those are fully integrated and they can receive the battery voltage reading from the sensor and then transmit it to the server. If you're using I Wialon, you will also have no issue with getting those readings and including them into your reports. As soon as the battery voltage goes down to 3.3, 3.2, and remains there for more than an hour, let's say.
Okay, I was about to say because sometimes I've noticed there could be a momentarily like
Yeah,
jump down,
yeah, yeah.
it goes down during transmission, I believe, and then it goes back to the normal value.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This happens because all the processes that are run by the sensor synchronize in time.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to take the fuel level measurement, the temperature measurement, the battery voltage check, and transmit a data package. all at once, at that point, the consumption increases,
Yeah.
and the battery voltage goes down a little bit, but then it usually rebounds very quickly. If that rebound doesn't happen, well, probably within the next 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, you absolutely need to schedule a ride to that vehicle and go and replace the battery.
So I would say before you go 200-300 kilometers to some desert or jungle or what gives snow mountain, to replace the sensor, be prepared. Yeah, bring
Absolutely.
some extra tools, bring some extra batteries with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it should be there. Be prepared. That's one of the examples. And one thing I want to compliment you guys, technical team, that you have this 24/7 availability. And I've been through a situation with some other equipment. I would not say which one, but it was 8 o'clock in the evening in Nairobi.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're
and
talking
we were trying to get some good answer, like what's going on. We received an answer next morning when we are on the plane already gone.
Yeah.
We did not get this project simply because we did not get this timely help. So as far as I know, I mean, I've tested personally your tech support, and it just under 1 minute you receive an answer, and then you feel that you're with somebody is with you
Yeah.
there. You're not
Yeah.
alone.
Absolutely.
All right, okay. So let me just one question. It's kind of a simple, but people ask, it could be obvious for you and me, yes, but still, how should a BLE fuel level sensor be calibrated after mechanical adjustment? When is a full calibration required, and how do calibration points impact accuracy? That's the from the lazy guy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, after adjusting the length of the sensor, you absolutely need to recalibrate it, because without this procedure, the sensor will not be operable.
Mhm.
You have two options. You can do that with fuel or without fuel. The one without fuel will absolutely require you to do the tank calibration.
Mhm.
So technically, you are taking a shortcut here, but you definitely make it obligatory to do the tank calibration, which usually takes more time than calibrating with fuel. The second option is to do the calibration the classic way, filling the tubes, either by putting the sensor upside down or putting it inside some kind of a tube or recipient, and filling it to the drainage holes, and then setting the full value, then emptying the sensor and setting the empty value. Generally, as it doesn't take that much time.
No, it doesn't. It's just
Roughly 10 minutes.
filling the bottle,
Maybe,
really. Yeah.
maybe 10 minutes, including cutting the sensor and maybe sandpapering its edges to avoid some
I believe you have
metal
some
shavings.
videos and
Yeah,
manuals for that.
absolutely, absolutely. So those 10 minutes, not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So it's better to do the calibration with fuel because, again, your customer could be using the fuel that comes from a particular company. So it's not like general provider whose gas stations are available throughout the country.
But the properties, they differ even within the same country.
And then the fuel of that particular company could be slightly different from what you get at the local gas station. To offset that, you do the the sensor calibration, the full and empty calibration with that particular fuel to stay on the safer side.
Okay.
As to the accuracy, the more reference points that you have in your table, the better will be the precision with which the level readings are
What do you
converted
recommend?
into
What do you
liters.
recommend? Like
For simple shaped tanks, 10 portions usually is enough.
10? Okay.
It's a tank of a Volvo, for example, truck,
400,
or
500 liters.
yeah, 600 maybe even. That will be fine. If the tank has a cylinder shape, or it's some kind of a agricultural machinery, those usually have the shapes of, the tanks of very peculiar shapes. There you absolutely need to aim for at least maybe 20, 30 portions.
Okay. Okay.
the more the better. Again, that's the point that you can discuss with your end customer. The more effort and time you invest in every installation, the better will be the result.
I agree with you. One thing I want to tell our listeners here that it's absolutely necessary, in our opinion. Of course, we could be a bit biased here, yes, but in our opinion, it's absolutely necessary to include fuel monitoring as your package for your clients. It's not only the the sensor which you just install and you think of it as some device uh, simple or not simple creates you a problem. Not really, it creates a lot of opportunity for and transparency for the client, for the end user. What does happen with their money? They actually spend money. They buy diesel, don't not to have fun with. It's not fun to buy diesel. You buy diesel to so it does some work for you. Deliver the goods. Dig the ground or something. So you need to basically you don't you transfer your money into diesel, and you still have to watch it over. You have to know where does the diesel go. And unfortunately, a lot of companies they exceed their budgets, their fuel budgets. When you ask them, did you guys spend more than you expected? They always say, yeah, we did, but that's normal. You tell them, look, it's that simple. You just ask your system integrator to install that device, and that's it.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
easy. And we try to package this sensor, not just the sensor. You really get into the relationship with our technical support, with our managers, with our application, with our ecosystem, and we try to make it as simple as possible, with the tools that we have. Um, Next, a wireless sensor. I want to ask you, and this is, let me just, okay, yeah, here we go. I personally like this sensor. I think it's quite
Me too.
versatile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my favorite actually.
angle sensor. So there are quite a lot of different scenarios you can apply. You can use it for different machinery, everything that moves. Of course, there is
In a certain way.
am I correct when I say you have to it detects the change in the gravitational vector, right?
Yes, sort of. That's right.
It sounds cool. I like
Sounds
it.
cool. Yeah, very sciencey.
But look, yeah. But look, one question. It comes from UAE, from Dubai. I kind of rephrased it, because this customer was kind of mad, but still, why does the battery dies faster than in a
Yeah,
fuel sensor?
yeah.
They had this installation on concrete mixers, so I believe a lot of rotation, a lot of movement, and the battery lived one year,
Hmm.
1 year, 2 months or so.
Hmm.
Something like this. So why did this happen? Why? I mean, 1 year. Come on.
Well, the more sciencey the device is, the more energy it consumes,
Hmm.
naturally. But yeah, the reason here is that the three-axis accelerometer that is used in those sensors is actually a very demanding energy consumer. It consumes more energy because it has to do more work and it has to do a work that is more difficult than what the fuel level sensors do.
Okay.
The fuel level sensors are quite simple. You have two tubes, they're connected to a circuit board, and then some physics happen, and the CPU of the sensor just measures the changes in the electric permittivity
Okay.
measured by the sensor. But the three-axis accelerometer has to do the measurement of the inclination angle more often, usually.
Uh-huh.
It has to sample more readings that it gets,
Hmm.
apply the filtration even before the filtration algorithm that is configurable by the user is applied. And yeah, you're right, since the machinery tends to move a lot. If we're
Hmm.
talking about concrete mixers, they almost never stop. If
Yeah.
they are carrying some stuff.
Yeah, it's Dubai. Construction never ends.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
24/7
Yeah,
operation. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And if we are talking about the excavators, they also pause very rarely when they are in the operation, at
Hmm.
least during the daytime
Hmm.
when the work is generally done. So naturally, depending on the mode the sensor is configured in, depending on the type of machinery it is installed on, the sensor will consume a little bit more energy, and that's why it's always a good idea to opt for another model of the battery from the same company, SAF, that is called 17500.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, it's roughly 20-30% bigger when it comes to the initial capacity.
Okay.
Yeah, those usually tend to last longer than the regular ones that we
Okay.
have in our fuel level sensors.
But you still get your battery charge to the platform. So
Yeah,
then,
absolutely.
okay.
You need to set up the notification that if the battery voltage drops to 3.3 and remains there for a certain period of time, then you need to get
Prepare
an
yourself
email,
for the trip.
or in case of Wialon, you also get the notifications via the app, maybe even short messages, SMS, and yeah, then you can act accordingly.
Okay. Okay.
And you could say that the end customer is never happy about something like that happening. But I think that the more important is how to handle it. If catches you unaware and the end customer noticed that, and they know that, okay, something is wrong and it's not fully under control, it's one thing. And when you act as if it's natural and you know what's going on, you know how to handle it, you show the level of professionalism that you have,
Yeah.
it actually can deepen the relationship that you have
I
with the
agree.
customer.
I agree. In most cases, it's enough for you to explain it. Sometimes in a sciencey way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So you have to show your expertise. After all, a system integrator is the one who does the integration. And if we focus on sensors, we focus only on sensors, right? As same as a Gurtam focuses only on software. Same as Teltonica, they focus only on trackers and routers and gateway devices basically.
Yeah.
And then we are able to do it good. We don't just go. We can make GPS trackers. We can make software, but why? If we just focus on the sensor and then we know and we can explain how the sensor works, and and we try to do our best, choosing the supplier of the battery, running the safety protocols and certifications and so on. This is the best we can do as a sensor manufacturer. So it's always good to learn about the physics. You can never cheat physics, yeah? It's like
Absolutely. That's one of the favorite answers that I like to give sometimes. That unfortunately, sir, we have all the desire to do so, but we cannot bend the laws of physics.
Just the last wireless sensor I wanted to ask you about today. This one is a temperature humidity sensor. It's pretty much straightforward, right? So you can tell what's special about it. But I know there is something special about it that you have to install it into refrigerator truck, reefer, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's an enclosed box with thick sandwich walls and some metallic, structure like a framing and so. So it creates something which I know is called a Faraday cage effect.
Yeah.
So you close the door and the signal is not out. Or is it? I need to understand before I start offering this to, the majority of our clients.
Absolutely. That actually depends on every reefer in particular, I think, because without conducting some tests first, you cannot be sure whether the BLE connectivity is achievable for that particular truck or not. One of the other things that you need to consider is placing the sensor closer to the doors, because usually if the sensor is placed there, then the probability of the data transmission moving smoothly all the time is much higher. And to, I think that the most difficult question that you get about this sensor is why is it so not cheap?
Why is it expensive? Yeah,
Yeah.
look, yeah, it's expensive, but it has this same big battery, right? So it has completely rugged, very tough casing. Additionally, but the most cost comes from the sensor itself. So we've used a top tier sensor that gives you the up to the 100th of the degree resolution.
Yeah.
So you get like 23.92 degrees Celsius, and you get like 85 point, 25% humidity. Could be an overkill, yes, but then if you know that your sensor gives you exact, very proper, very accurate data, you can be sure that your refrigerated truck full of frozen top grade beef, how much does it cost? How much this beef
I'd
cost?
say that
$20,000, $30,000.
probably pharmaceutics, that's where you look
Pharmaceutics,
for
yeah, but
something very expensive.
anyway, so the main idea for the sensor is not to be expensive or cheap. The main idea for the sensor is to preserve and save what is expensive,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
cargo. So then once you think along these lines, you kind of need to monitor your frozen beef. You need to know that your frozen tuna is frozen all the way from the supplier to the customer. I know you guys have used Bluetooth 5.0 long range, and I've been told that it's different from other
Yeah.
regular
Yeah.
human Bluetooth. You have like top grade Bluetooth. So what's cool about it, and how does it help us to penetrate the wall?
For a salesperson, this guy knows a lot about the product that he sells.
Yeah, I have to.
So, yeah, you're right. The THBLE sensors have Bluetooth 4.0 for the users to be able to configure it
Okay.
via the 4.0
Mm-hmm.
version of the Bluetooth, and then to make it compatible with the trackers, 99% of which, or maybe even 100 still, have only fourth generation Bluetooth modules
Mm-hmm.
incorporated into them. And you also have, as you have mentioned, Bluetooth 5.0 long range, which provides a higher level of connectivity. The signal is stronger. It can travel longer distances up to 200, 300 meters if we're talking about some open
Okay.
space areas where there are no obstacles or some devices that could be generating the interferences. Um, and yeah, that actually comes at a cost. And in addition, you also need the receiving device to have the same Bluetooth 5.0 long range
Mm-hmm.
to actually enjoy all the benefits that
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
version of Bluetooth brings to the table. So uh, you always need to consider installing those sensors if we're talking about some refrigerator trucks
Mm-hmm.
with, as you have mentioned, thick sandwich walls that block the Bluetooth signal. Installing the sensor with the adapter BLE, which has the same Bluetooth
Mm-hmm.
5.0 long range, so it can actually uh, remain on par with the transmitter of the sensor. Uh, yeah, if you consider that, the chances of you successfully installing ATH BLE and
Mm-hmm.
successfully monitoring the temperature and humidity in your ref goes up significantly.
Okay. I would say it's quite important for to test the equipment, to do this, what we call pilot
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
POC. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
have to be sure that it works as a system integrator. You have to be sure that it works, before you bring it to your customer. And once you know it works, you have this inner assurance, which
Hmm.
you just lay out on the table and you
Yeah.
just be open about
And it's
it.
not that you have to do that with every truck. You do that with the particular model of the truck or the particular model of the trailer. And if it
Hmm.
works on one unit, probably it will work on the following 10, 20 ones. So,
Yeah. Okay, you know what? As we also have these questions, nothing works, what do I do? But we can go on forever about this.
absolutely.
So I would like to say let's finish up, with torturing you with this
Nah,
sensor.
that's fine. That's what I do every day, so
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
cannot break through my armor.
No, I want to tell you guys also, when you have a question, there's no question There's no stupid question, in fact, all questions they have a
No, no, no,
reason.
no. Wait. The most stupid question is the one that never gets asked.
Okay, a
And
good
then
one.
there are some ramifications for that.
Okay, a good one. Yeah. So we have 24/7 help desk. You have your Escort app. You just go there and you find the tab for with the little cogwheel, with support. Or like it's not a cogwheel, it's like a headphone sign. So you
Yeah,
push
yeah,
out,
yeah.
yeah, and you
At
just
the
get,
top of the
yeah,
screen,
you
yeah.
get your Telegram or WhatsApp communication. So you can use online chat, you can give us a call, whatever. It's 24/7 accessible with all the questions. We also have some educational materials. You know what? We think that it's very important to provide this extra monitoring facilities to your customer. And in fact, it's a very simple equipment, and it's reasonably priced, if you ask me. And I think, at least I have no other data that we are leaders in wireless fuel monitoring devices.
Sure.
Same as our technological partners, which we choose to work with, also leaders in their fields.
Yeah,
So it gives us some, idea how device works. So feel free to ask us questions, please. 24/7 technical support. This is what I want to say.
yeah.
Uh,
And no AI required.
no AI. Yeah, man. I hope you never introduce that stuff.
Everything is analog and still works well.
Yeah, now just they say I want the AI to answer. No, man. I when I call the bank and whatever, I would say operator, human, give me human. Give me human, please. So we have real human behind every message.
Yeah.
Um,
We have the bot that just distributes the queries between the
okay.
people who
Yeah,
are.
that's one thing. You guys not actually on WhatsApp, not actually on Telegram. You guys use ticketing system, yeah?
Yeah,
So
yeah. We have
okay.
a system that works with all
Yeah,
of that.
otherwise to track it. I would say we are finished with our little. We don't have much time. I don't want to consume too much of your time, so we can connect separately. Please join our community. We have LinkedIn, we have YouTube with lots of different videos. We have Facebook. Uh, I don't like Facebook interface. Maybe they could, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to you, Kate. We would like to give you the microphone back, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tim and Arslan, for your presentation, for your practical recommendation and insights. And especially thank you for this phrase, don't be lazy, man. But I'd like to add that don't hesitate to ask because I believe that it's really important in our sphere. So for now, we have a few questions and one comment from Halton. I think range of distance and limit of operation time are points to clarify. So maybe you have any links to videos or documentation to share?
We have, but
Because
let's
unfortunately,
speak
we don't
about,
have a lot of time
yeah,
to dive deeper.
sure.
That's why
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah. We have all the materials. They are available. We have a wiki, knowledge
Base.
base. Yeah. So and then we can connect separately. We can discuss the peculiarities of Bluetooth transmission. So it's quite interesting, in fact.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll do it. The next question, what is the lowest working voltage of the batteries? To know at what level it needs to be changed.
3.3 roughly. Sometimes lower.
Mhm.
3.2. It could. Usually, if it's below 3.2, the sensor goes offline. As to the normal values, 3.4, 3.5 are totally operatable.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
And also, there is one thing that you need to be aware of. When you get a new sensor, it's possible that the voltage is 3.7 or 3.6, and then it drops to 3.5 within the first couple of weeks. That's perfectly normal. As per the data sheet, the battery is supposed to have 3.5 voltage mark.
Thank you. And the last one, what are the best practices for integrating Escort Bluetooth sensors with telematics platforms like Wialon?
Hmm.
That's rather a question to the developers. They're usually, I say, uh, no, I will not say it.
No, I do have
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the platform is supposed to have a comprehensible list of tools that allow the user to work with the data that they are collecting. So if you're getting the fuel level readings, you absolutely need to have the tools that enable you to build, to generate the reports that include some tables with the refuelings and drains. Those are supposed to be calculated by the platform itself. And then you also need the line charts sometimes because you need to analyze the fuel readings behavior in the context of the movement of the vehicles. You need to see the mileage, you need to see the speed at which the vehicle was moving, maybe add the temperature readings that are coming from the sensor. All that will give you more contexts, I mean, contexts to understand what's going on with the sensor if something goes wrong. And well, to be honest, look no further than Wialon because the platform has everything.
Yeah, I agree. And there's not much. Nobody asked me, but I will still tell. Sensor's job is not very complex.
Yeah,
It has to survive in rough conditions, and it has to stably provide you reliable data,
yeah,
accurate data.
absolutely.
What then happens to that data? This is completely on this old magic. I tell my customers this is magic happens on the platform. Sensor measures fuel level, fuel temperature. Done. Nothing else. Then the integration with the GPS tracker has to, of course, GPS tracker has to properly transfer every reading to the platform. Then how you mix on the platform, this is completely that capabilities on the platform. You can get your
Absolutely.
consumption, mileage, you can get your transparency, reports per fleet, report per vehicle, which the ratings and everything.
Yeah,
So
normal consumption that you set for a particular vehicle. Because if you were talking some heavy duty machinery, those while being operated, doing some work, digging, mixing something, they usually tend to consume a lot more fuel. So you need to set this configuration in on your platform that okay, this is normal if this vehicle consumes more than let's say 30 liters per 10
yeah, so
20
the
minutes.
the, the possibilities are endless. It's I think Kate is more question to you guys. We will give you this fuel reading, and the fuel temperature.
Okay, we definitely will answer this question to our partner. So we unfortunately we don't have to we don't have time to answer other questions, but I'll share them with you, and then we'll share them with our partners in our partners chats and on our YouTube channel. Thank you, team. Thank you, Arslan, for your amazing presentation, for joining us today, and thank you, everyone, for being with us today. And a special thanks to all of you who've been with us throughout our open mic webinars this year. We're happy to share that we'll continue the open mic series next year. So stay tuned for new topics, new speakers, and more practical insights from across Wialon community. If you'd like to become a speaker in one of our upcoming sessions, I've just shared a message in the chat. Please fill out the form, and we'll get in touch with you. All webinars recordings are available on our YouTube channel, so feel free to revisit any session or share them with your colleagues. Friends, it was wonderful to spend this time with you today. Wishing you all a great end of the year and see you in 2026.